Kids who've never experienced the joys of summer camp are getting the opportunity in Western Canada. On this week's edition of Today's Health, we visit the Heart Heroes Camp that invites children born with heart disease to enjoy just being a kid in the sun. Kim Smith reports.
You're free. Go ahead.
Go! A water fight on a warm Alberta summer day, typical for many summer camps. But for these kids, attending a so-called typical camp has been out of reach.
I wouldn't want to risk me getting hurt and stuff like that.
Maya Maraz is one of about 20 kids here born with heart disease.
I've got 6 different kinds of complications and a whole bunch of holes in my heart.
And this is their first ever summer camp experience.
Making new friends that are just like me. It makes me feel like I'm not the only one.
It's called Heart Heroes Camp for kids between 8 and 14. Spearheaded by Dr. Devin Shayton, plans have been in the works for about 2 years.
Kids with heart issues are a little bit unique because they have ongoing medical needs that are often not met by most typical community and recreational programs. They just don't feel comfortable taking care of these kids.
The goal is to offer a medically supervised camp to promote independence. For most of the parents, it's the first time they've allowed their children to be without them for any significant length of time.
Parents don't really feel comfortable leaving their children in anybody else's hands. There's not a lot of programs that they're able to otherwise attend.
Over the 4 days at camp, they'll enjoy activities from arts and crafts to water fights and boating.
I mean, I've been to camps for family, but not the ones that were with kids. It feels me happy, and I like playing with some of the kids, and I enjoy it.
A reminder for these kids, they're not alone.
In other health news this morning, MRI scans show significant brain differences in people with genetic forms of autism. Scientists at the University of California in San Francisco scanned the brains of people with a chromosomal deformity linked to autism. The images shown here reveal significant abnormalities in brain structure that correspond to patients' cognitive and behavioral problems. Experts say brain imaging could help identify people with autism who are in most urgent need of interventions and treatment. Video games may boost attention and memory skills, but they can also harm your brain. Canadian researchers found hardcore action game players had less gray matter in their hippocampus. A smaller hippocampus increases the risk of brain illnesses and disease like depression, schizophrenia, PTSD, and Alzheimer's disease. And finally, when you are blue, so are your Instagram photos. A new study from the University of Vermont found that depressed people tend to post photos that are bluer, darker, and grayer than happier posters. In fact, computers were 70% accurate in identifying depressed people by scanning their Instagram photos. Sad people were also more likely to post photos with people's faces, but they included fewer faces than healthy people's Instagram feeds. That's it for this week's edition of Today's Health, and coming up on KPVI News Today, we take a look at your KPVI News Today headlines.